Hey there. Pardon me, the dog's barking. Okay, so this is set of hints number 3 for Project 6 CIS 204 Unix shell scripting and utilities. And let me get rid of this cheesy camera here. Okay, yesterday, it was yesterday here, I don't know if it was yesterday there, we played with restricted shell. And let me bring up restricted shell 1, and it tells me I'm restricted to, it's restricted under bar total. I'm restricted to purchases under $500. So let me do this. I'm going to put in a purchase price of $501. Isn't that special? And I want 10 of those. Well, it works. It tells me the total quantity is 5010, or the total price is 5010. And the price is $501 and the quantity is 0. So it didn't let me do that. But let's do this. $7.23, and I want 70 of these guys. It worked. The price is $506. It shaved the total down to $69, and it gave me a grand total of $498.87. Now, let's try this. 5,001. Total quantity 0. Okay. Now, remember how we had that great big long nasty one where it took forever? So let's do this. $52.78. Enter the quantity 10,000. That's a little too many. Hey, this one figured it right out. How did it do that? Well, let's take a look at this restricted total again. Shell 1. Okay. So basically, enter a price. Guess what I did? Here we have it. It's going to create this $500 divided by dollar price, and then that's going to 500 divided by the total price is going to give me the quantity that can be ordered. So it worked. But there's another version of this shell sitting out here. And let me clear this out. So let's get to restricted total shell 2. Okay, so now let me enter this. 5,000, I'm going to enter the purchase price of $50,000, and I want 10 of these guys. What? Wait a minute. It's $50,000. The quantity is 10. The price is $50,000 and the quantity is 9. The total is $450,000. Well, wait a minute. That's beyond what I can do. So how do we figure out what's going on here? Well, it's kind of fun, actually. What's going on is this. So I enter the price, right? 50,000. And I enter the quantity, 10. Now, notice what happens. 10 is greater than 1,000. Echo. 50,000 times 10. BC, total 50,000. 50,000 quantity equal minus 1. It gives me 9. Here's what's going on. Basically, Bash doesn't do math well inside of shell scripts. Just doesn't do it well. So what I've done is I've created a new version of this shell that's a little bit better. So here we go. So I'm going to echo you are restricted to purchases under $500. Enter price per unit. Read the price. And while the price is greater than 500, I'm going to use the BC to extract a 0 or a 1. If it's a 1, I'll do the you have entered a price per unit beyond your purchasing authority. Would you like to exit? Yes or no? If I say yes, then I echo buy, and I exit with code 5. If not, I ask them to re-enter the price per unit. And that will keep happening until that BC test goes to 0, at which point it comes and drops down through the while loop and gets to the echo enter quantity. At which point I will echo price times quantity through the BC. That allows me to do floating point math. If I didn't do that, it would go sideways. And then I use this if BC, test the BC to be 0 or 1, the total is greater than 500. This allows me to do the floating point math that Bash just doesn't do. You notice that last total? There we go. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at restricted total shell 3. Price per unit, $598.27. Oh, wrong. How about $498.27? Okay, that passes me back through the loop. I'd like 10 of those, please. Nope, you can get 1. So what's that look like in the grand scheme of things? Would you believe? You're restricted to purchases under 400. I'm going to read the price, $598.27. I get a 1, which means follow that while loop. So you've entered a price per unit beyond your purchasing authority. So if I say no, I'll be asked to enter the price again. And if I say 501, it'll ask me again because I'm still within that while loop, while the price is greater than 500. So let me do a no again. Let me enter the $498.27. Let's see where we slip through. Now notice the result from that BC test is 0, so I'm out of the while loop. Now I'm asked to enter the quantity, and here I give it 10. Now, let quantity equal 1, because it looked at the 498 times 27 times 498.27 times 10 gave me a total of 498.70, which the BC said falls within that if loop, if then. So I'm going to do the then, which is echo that $500 divided by 498.27. It's rounded up. My quantity becomes 1. 498.27 times 1 gives me my total. The price is 498.27 and the quantity is 1. The total is 498.27. So it worked. So let's take a look at that again. Let's take a look at that shell again. So what you've got in here is that while loop, and it uses the BC to test. Notice its construction. It uses double parentheses, a space, a $sign in front of the variable that's being computed, the 0 or the 1. That's like an echo $question mark almost. Do echo, you've entered a price per unit beyond your purchasing authority. So every time this tests to a 1, it will give me this, you have entered a price beyond your purchasing authority, and then ask if I would like to exit. I read the variable exit that was just set. If it's equal to Y, then I will exit the shell. Otherwise, I will continue in this while loop, and I will enter a unit price. And if that price tests greater than 500, I'm going to return a 1, which keeps me inside the while loop. If it returns a 0, which means the price is not greater than 500, then I'm out of the while loop. And then I end up doing the rest of this. So, next up, I have this total, which is the price times the quantity. And here I'm testing if the total is greater than 500, then do the internal on this piece of the if then else loop. Let quantity equal $500 divided by the price, and use the BC to calculate that. In other words, I want BC to calculate this because I want a whole number for quantity. I don't want a fractional number in the quantity. So let quantity equal that. Then I echo the $price times the $quantity, and that gives me my total, which then is used in the price is dollar price and the quantity is dollar quantity. The total is dollar total. And you see it worked. This is a bit different. K-shell would not have a problem with this, but bash does. So there you go.